Welcome to Atlanta Startup Village number 51. We are the largest monthly gathering of entrepreneurs in the Southeast. We are a little bit on the more intimate side tonight. I'm going to blame fall break for that, or Atlanta traffic, which is par for the course. So, a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, I'm Allie. I'm your host. You can follow us tonight. Thank you. You can follow us tonight on hashtag ATLSV, Twitter, Instagram. I will try to repost and follow those hashtags in between. One of the main things to know is that we are in, while it is a large space, it carries very well with sound, which means that if you are in the back and you think you're being very quiet, that is a lie. We can hear you. So, if you are talking during the presentations, for these lovely people who've been practicing for several weeks on end, I, or the angry pregnant lady in the back, wave your hand for us, Kelly. Thank you. She will hunt you down and make you go all the way out into the lobby to continue your discussion. So, what I suggest is please just hold all of your conversations until after. You will have a chance to talk to everybody and watch the amazing presentations. Thank you. So, who here has beer tonight? Woo! Okay, that's not nearly as exciting as it should be because beer is sponsored tonight by Workful, and you are going to get to hear from Dennis with Workful. Come on down. Give him a round of applause for the beer, guys. Come on.
How y'all doing? What do y'all think of the beer? It's okay. I grabbed a sour on accident. I'm not typically a sour drinker, but I'm taking one. Taking one for the team here. So thank you, Atlanta Tech Village, for having us. Can y'all hear me? We love what you guys do. We love being a part of it. I just want to tell y'all real quick what Workful is, because I love to hear from all of you throughout the night. We've got a team over here that can answer any of your questions. But what are we? Workful is it's an employee management app with an iPad point-of-sale component. And the why is, I talk to a lot of small business owners who tell me they can no longer do the thing that drove them to open a business because they're too busy running the business, dealing with employees, dealing with tracking sales and whatnot. And on the other end of the spectrum, 75% of employees say they're not engaged with their employer. So what Workful does is tries to fill that gap, puts tools in the hands of employees so they can stay in sync with their bosses, and frees up time for the employer to get back to making money. So if you're a business owner and this is resonating with you at all, please come talk to us. If you're an employee of a company and maybe you feel like it's a little harebrained, a little crazy some of the time, come hear about Workful. Thanks again for having us. Y'all enjoy the beer.
Great. And as you guys can see, we did have a live stream URL up there. Every single month, we are fortunate enough to have all of this taped, recorded, and live streamed, so your grandma, your brother, your business partners, people you know in Europe can all watch you. And this is all thanks to PullSpark in the back. If you guys would wave, please, PullSpark. Give them a round of applause for every month doing this for us. Thank you. They do video production, so if you need it, they do great quality work. Please come back and see them in the back. Okay, the way this works is we have 5 companies. They get 5 minutes apiece to pitch, and then we have 5 minutes of Q&A. If you ask a question and you are in the back, please yell it loudly and make it short because they're going to have to repeat the question so that everybody on the live recording can hear you. If you do not make it short, I will ask you to take it offline, and that's not exciting for anybody. So, short questions, loud questions. And now we have our very first presenter, Airlift. Take it away.
All right. How's it going, everyone? Can everyone hear me? All right. So my name is Shihan, and I am the founder of Airlift. I'm always first at these things, so please excuse me. Funny fact, if you want to be a guinea pig at everything, just start your company name with the letter A. So what do? We store, package, and ship out your e-commerce inventory while you focus on your business. And before I go into how that exactly works, I want to share with you, yeah, there we go. I want to share with you our simple belief, right? We believe that small businesses are the heart of a strong society and a vibrant community, right? They help feed families, They give you access to products that we use in our day-to-day lives, and they're overall pretty cool. But when we think about small businesses, we tend to think of these guys, the brick and mortars. And they're great businesses, they're all great, but today in the internet age, small businesses look very different, right? The kid that used to sell kicks in your neighborhood now sells them online. That girl that you know that makes custom dresses, she has an online boutique. And the mom who designed and manufactured a toy for a child did so through Kickstarter. So what do all these businesses have in common? Well, they're all unique in their own way, but they all have to get their products to their customers. They have to ship their products, right? And it could be a great way to start out by doing it yourself, from your kitchen table or in your garage. But as you grow and as the orders start pouring in, you start becoming overwhelmed, right? Where you can't focus on the things that matter, like growing your business or improving your brand or improving your customer experience, right? So where do we come in? Well, it's pretty simple. We store your inventory for you. You make a sale. And as long as it's nothing illegal or it doesn't explode, we'll package it and ship it out for you. Once you log in, you can connect all your online storefronts where you sell your products. And then you send your inventory to us in bulk. And once we receive it, you'll get an overview of all your current inventory levels in our warehouses. And once you make a sale, you can track your inventory, you can track your order from our warehouse all the way to your customer's doorstep. So to make it easier, we partner with carriers you love and you already trust for discounted rates. Our DHL account can get you 70%, up to 70% off on international shipments. And we're not stopping there, right? We're partnering with UPS Freight so that you can get discounted rates through them. We'll package and prep your items for Amazon Prime for you so that you have access to all their customers. And by the end of this year, we're going to be doing same-day delivery through Deliv and rush orders in 2 hours or less through Postmates. So we're entering a new era of e-commerce where small businesses are competing with Amazon and big box stores by better business models, more innovative business models, matching shipping speeds, things like loyalty programs, subscription boxes. So coming back to our simple belief, we believe that small businesses are the heart of a strong society and a vibrant community. Whoa. That's why our mission is to help small businesses launch and grow by building tools that make logistics simple. And that's it. You can visit us at shipairlift.com. Questions? Yes.
If I'm a third-party seller on Amazon, they will store, pack, ship, and fulfill my orders that are made to the Amazon website. How are you different from them, and what advantage do you offer over a small business using Amazon services?
Okay, so the question is for third-party merchants on Amazon, they already have this called Fulfillment by Amazon, and you can send your inventory to them. But the problem with that is that you can only, they'll fulfill your products only to Amazon customers, right? There is a third party like manual fulfillment, but you have to log in, and for every order, you have to actually create the order and send it through Amazon, and then it comes in an Amazon Prime box. So if you're selling something on eBay, you get it from Amazon Prime. Like, as a customer, that's not the ideal experience, right? And another thing is that when you're one of these small businesses with a great brand and you want to differentiate from all your competitors, you want to have your entire own ecosystem, like your own website, your own customer experience, your own community, right? Whereas if you're selling on Amazon, you scroll down, you're going to see all your competitors. People also view this, right? And a lot of small businesses, they can't, yeah, they're on Amazon, but they'd prefer to ship through their own site. Did that answer your question? Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah, so that's okay. So the question was, can you put any branding on your packages? Yeah, so that's what we do with our current clients, where we do custom packaging. And that's another reason why we can help you versus just you selling on using Fulfillment by Amazon, where a lot of these businesses, when they send their product out and their customers get it in their mail, right? It's like a whole different experience. It's like receiving a gift in the mail. And especially with all these newer companies, you open everything up and it's neatly wrapped, and it's just a whole different experience versus getting something from Amazon. So that's one of the value add that we work with our clients on a one-on-one basis currently, and we're looking to figure out how do we automate that and how do we optimize that. Yeah. So the question is, do we have food safe with the Department of Agriculture? We're working on that. Right now we're working with one of our new clients that makes handmade chocolates, and we're working with them with that. So far it's the only licenses that we have is manufacturing, but figuring out the storage part of it is where we're working on that, yeah. Yes. So the question was, what uniquely qualifies us to do this? Well, me personally, I had an e-commerce business when I was in college, and one of the biggest problems I had was shipping, right? And it got to a point where, I would skip class, I was miss tests, just so I can make my customers happy, right? And every morning my day-to-day was wake up, print out labels, go to a storage unit where I kept all my inventory and just packaged and dropped them off at USPS. And one thing that I realized is that I wasn't doing enough volume for me to go to a fulfillment company and say, can we onboard with you guys? And that's gonna take a long time, where a traditional fulfillment company gives us a quote, and then it's like buying a house. It's like a month-long process. And also that's very intimidating for a lot of new sellers that are just selling part-time as a hobby, and they've gotten to a point where they're growing.
All right, let's give them a round of applause, guys.
Thank you.
swapping computers there. All right, so all of the chairs that you guys are sitting in tonight are kindly set up and taken down by our fantastic volunteers. And in exchange for that, the volunteers get 30 seconds up here in front of y'all. So see me after if you're interested in being a volunteer for a future one. And in the meantime, I have Michaela with the Life School. Give her a round of applause, guys. Come on.
Hey everybody, so the Life School is a small progressive high school here in Atlanta, and we love to connect our students with really cool folks like you guys. And so if you know of any field trips that you love to expose to students, or workshops, you want to come in and do a demo or just work with them, I'd love to talk with you. If you have a teenager or know teenagers, we're also still enrolling for this year or for next year, grades 9 through 12. We're looking for students that are really creative and technical and entrepreneurial like a lot of you, but who want more flexibility in their high school experience to be able to work on projects and start businesses and things like that throughout their school day instead of having to wait till the evenings or weekends for that sort of thing. And so if you know of students like that, I would love to talk with you. Check out the lifeschool.co, and our information's on the wall in the back, and I'll be in the back afterwards to talk with anyone who's interested.
And then we also have a pitch from Supernova South. Who's up for that? If you're pitching, please come to the front.
Hey guys, my name is Levi. I'm with Stepping Blocks. We are proud sponsors of Supernova South this year. And what that is, we have a conference. It's all week next week. And it's got VR, AR, you've got digital marketing, UX, UI, all of the things nerds love, right? This is a conference for nerds. If you're a nerd, you need to be there next week. There's a discount code in the back for 60% off registration. It is SNSASV, and that is the biggest discount we will be offering, and it expires tomorrow at midnight. So if you're a nerd and you're interested in going to Supernova South, we'll see you next week.
All right, and on with our main attraction, we have USIT.
Hi everyone, I'm Ifra and I'll be pitching my startup USIT to you today. It's an on-demand babysitting app that connects households to pre-vetted college students near them within minutes. I started this, we launched in January of 2017 along with my two members, co-founders, Alejandro and Omer, who could not be here today. We all recently graduated from Emory and are working on making USIT a success. So I want to start out by showing you a short video that introduces the concept of USIT. So this video depicts a common problem that parents are facing today. Lauren is a working mother who suddenly gets a phone call from her boss and needs to go into work for an urgent client meeting. She's going through many obstacles, texting her friends, texting her past sitters, posting on babysitting Facebook groups to find a babysitter for her daughter Jill in such short notice. Amy, on the other hand, is a college student who's looking for babysitting gigs but is having a hard time and could really use the extra money. So this is where USIT comes into play. It's the on-demand babysitting app that connects college students who are pre-vetted to households near them within minutes. USIT provides more opportunities for parents by providing them with immediate babysitters, college-educated students, advanced interviews, easy payment, and transparency, while also providing more opportunities for college students with a great source of extra income and even cash rewards for jobs done through the app. So right now, USIT is available in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are willing to capture 1.4 million students in the North American market, as well as 1.5 million family households. On average, about $1,000 per household is spent a year on babysitting, so that shows a total obtainable market of about $1.5 billion. Now, you're probably wondering how USIT works. Parents create a job by putting the time they need a job for, their rate per hour, which kids they want a sitter for, and even additional details, and then they get applicants for their job, and they can click on their icon, view their profile, view additional details, and even view if their background checked through the app as well from our trusted partner Untitled, who does the background checks for our college students. So after they book a student, they can even track the student, they can even rate the student, post comments, and refer a student at the end of the job, and all payment occurs through the app. So you're probably wondering who our competitors are. We have a couple of competitors. These are our most relevant ones, Care.com, Wendy, and Juggle. Wendy and Juggle are the most similar ones, and Care.com is the most popular one. But USIT really distinguishes itself through three main characteristics. Ease of use, all payment and pairing occurs through the app. Affordability, parents set their own rate, and college students are willing to work for as minimum as $12 an hour on the app. And our biggest competitive advantage is our large network of university-educated students. So you're probably wondering how we make money. We take an additional 9% from what the parent pays the student, and a $2.99 fee from what the student gets, but the student also keeps 100% of their tip, so it evens out by the end of the job. Now, we launched on iOS devices in January of 2017 this year, and we have a total of about 1,100 jobs completed through the app, 4,000 downloads. Our net revenue, which is what we've made from the fees, is about $9,000, and a total turnover in the app of about $71,000. And we have a total active student users of about 750 students and 1,300 parents. So on average, we make about $7.90 for each job through the app, an average gross revenue of $60 per job, which is what on average a parent pays a student. And with the same growth that we're experiencing, we're on average to making about $200,000 per month by the month of May of 2018. Now you're probably wondering what's next for USIT. Right now we're in the process of developing Android development for phones because we're only available for iOS devices. And we also want to implement a referral promo code system so the word about the app can spread faster. And then we also want to expand after we're done. We do a couple of updates every couple of weeks from getting advice from parents and students who are on the app. And we want to expand into different cities. Thank you, and I can open it up to questions. Yes. So the question was, is there an opportunity for parents to meet students before meeting them? And what parents usually do if they want to meet students is they can contact the student they booked, have a meeting set up for an hour, and pay their rate for that meeting and have it go through the app, and then they can book the student again if they like them. If they don't like them, they don't have to book them. Yes. So the question was if the parent can see the background check of the student, how would parents just not? Yeah, so how could you gather info and just not use? Yes, and the answer to your question is parents, when they view the background check of the sitter, they can't really contact the sitter until they book them. So they have to book the student, contact them, and then they can look at their additional details as well before they book them, and then they can set up a meeting with them and time to meet, and students are really incentivized to use the app because we have a reward system. So they make cash rewards with the jobs they do through the app. So they're really incentivized to use the app in that way. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So the question was why don't parents just buy bypass the use-sitters or use them outside of the app. And the answer to your question is because of the reward system we have, we usually have students using the app. And right now we're trying to focus on a way to how to keep the parents on the app because we're seeing that some parents really want to go outside the app because of the fee, the small fee that we do have. And we're working on a referral promo code system to keep that from happening and also burner phone numbers as well. Yes.
How frequently do you update your background checks of your sitters? Because in college, there's a lot of times that we make poor life choices.
Yeah. So the question was, how frequently do we do background checks on our sitters after they first got background checked because college students tend to make poor decisions? And the answer is we've only been operating since January of this year. So we actually haven't really done a double background check, and we also haven't really thought about that occurring. So that's a good question, and we're going to work on that. Yes. The question was, does the parent have an opportunity to choose the babysitter, or does the team choose the babysitter? The answer is the parent actually gets multiple applicants. Students get a notification about the job posting, and they have the opportunity to apply after seeing the information on the job. And once they apply, parents can book whatever student they see fit after viewing their profile. Yes. So the time frame can be any time in between like days, weeks, or even hours before. The shortest we've had a parent pick is an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. And when that type of scenario occurs, they usually post within 30 minutes or an hour, and they really need a babysitter in an emergency. But we haven't had any problems with the timing that parents usually post. And they always get applicants within 30 minutes to an hour. Yes? So we actually had the summer term already. The question was what happens during the summer since our demand and supply depends on the babysitter. And during the summer, we actually partner with high schools who have seniors who graduated. So they're still in town in the summer. They're going to be college students, and they babysit as well as summer students and parents who live, students who live locally as well. Yes. The question was, how do we validate that the parents are safe? So right now, we currently talk to every parent over the phone and really see, what their needs are and what they want. So we do a kind of interview process. And students also talk to the parent before every job. And that's how we verify parents currently.
Applause, guys.
Thank you.
And my next in-between volunteer is Chris.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Carter. I am a professional UI UX designer. I do everything from help design pitch decks, mobile apps, websites, products. So if you need help designing anything, let me know. I'll be around. My information's on the backboard as well. Thanks.
All right, so while we get set up, after this, I always have a couple of people come up to me and ask how they can pitch. So the criteria are pretty simple. You're based in Atlanta. You have something that would be considered a startup, whether it's size, revenue, age, things like that. It's pretty in between. And so that's really it. You have something you can show for 4 to 5 minutes. Pretty simple. We are right now booked up until February 2018. However, every single month, I typically have one person who's like, oh, hey, so I thought I was going to pitch, and now I can't. I'm really sorry. So please come up and see me afterwards, because I frequently do bump people forward. We have a couple in this round who got bumped forward for that reason. We just like to get planned out as far as we can. So come see me after, and I'll put you guys on the list. How are we doing over here? This is what happens when you have a live demo. Technical difficulties. All right, I'm going to continue on here. If you guys want to grab a quick beer, do that. And in between, if you are not already following us on the meetup group, I do recommend you go there. We will post every single month when the meetup is happening, and you can also talk to the other people who are going to be participating. So if you're looking for something specific in the audience, please post that on the meetup group, and you can meet up with people in between. Are we good to go? All right, I know everybody got really excited and wanted to talk to each other, but now we're going to let Inova Analytics give their presentation.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Come on. Are we Atlanta or what? All right, we're Inova Analytics. My name is Frank Hasbani. I'm one of the co-founders. This is my colleague, Mark, and co-worker. All right. Well, how many data scientists are here? All right. Okay, so all this hoopla about the data science. Well, guess what? Reviews are in 74% of those adoptions in data science by multinationals as well as small companies aren't making ROI. Why? In fact, they have negative ROI. So usually the strategy is one of two things. Okay? One of those is big data. So they go and spend some money, save everything, and then few months after that, oh my God, well, what now? What do we do now? Okay? They are swimming in data. Or the alternative is that they set up a team, here's some money, go do it. Go team, go. And then 6 months later, are we there yet? And then a year later, I want my ROI. So what happens? Why? Okay, well, really it's that simple. Okay? That usually what happened is that that's okay. Let me. Okay. Well, anyway, what we have done is that we built this platform that allows teams to work together, train together, and work in a single environment. So what we're going to show you is a demo of that platform. The platform provides all the tools that a data science team needs, except if it is proprietary. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to show you some of these unique properties of that platform. To start with, it includes a Kanban board. So users that log in, they have access. Then they go into the Kanban board. The Kanban board is, how many people here are familiar with Kanban? Okay, so basically it's a Scrum methodology or something close to Scrum that allows teams to deliver in Agile format. And in Agile, with Agile or Scrum, basically, what you have is specific tasks, and it is like a cardboard where you move tasks immediately into what's being done and what is not. So, exactly, a case in point, you can see here, for example, where the tasks are, and you can move them along, and even you can break them down into subtasks and assign them to specific people. Okay? In addition to the Kanban board, we also have RStudio. How many people are familiar with R? Right on. RStudio is one of the best tools that exist. And it provides capabilities far beyond any similar IDE. However, the power really is in R itself. How many people actually have used R to build models? Awesome. Okay. In fact, with few lines, you can actually produce dashboards. You can produce awesome things that normally would take pages of Java. In addition to that, there is, of course, Jupyter Hub. And Jupyter Hub is an IDE for a variety of tools. One of those, of course, is Python. How many use Python? Awesome. So you have used, then you're familiar with Jupyter probably, and you know what you can do with that.
All right, the question is, what can you do?
You can build models, and you can deploy them in the platform, basically, immediately without having to rewrite the code. That's basically where a lot of organizations, you build on your desktop, you build the model, and then how do you deploy it? The challenges in deploying it. So you have to take it to somebody that works in the enterprise group. Usually they know Java, or they know C++, C#, etc. So guess what? They have to rewrite your model in their own code. What's the likelihood of that working right out of the box? Very costly and so on, as opposed to deploying, like it took about 5 minutes to deploy this. This is a 3-line code in R, and it was deployed on Shiny. Now you tell me in Java, how long would it take to produce something like that from a data set? The question is why? Why would you buy it?
The question is, would you have to use this platform to build the entire model, and would you have to use it to deploy?
Yeah, one of the challenges is that engines for models are unique. They are not exactly IT domain knowledge. Now, what you can do with this is that, and one of the things that we haven't talked about is a project we're working on, is to develop it as an API. So basically you deploy it as an API. Any CRM, ERP, or any other application can then make a call to that API and get the results that, the predictions that they want. Would that client leave or would they stay? Would the patient be admitted or not? Then it's much easier, much simpler to deploy in your enterprise application.
It's also good for prototyping. So the question is, how do you manage your data inputs?
Into the model, or there are two things, so let me explain. The data that comes in for analysis and building models is one, or as a streaming into the model, the production. Okay. We don't have to worry about that because it's the ERP or the CRM or some other application that would consume the API call. Does that make sense? In other words, your data is coming to your CRM, as an example. Okay. all the developer for the CRM has to do is to build a widget that makes a call to the to the model, and then show the results in that widget on the CRM. The question, if I understand it right, is that the data that comes into building the model, what we haven't had chance to talk about is there are two SQL servers built into it. One is Postgres and is one MySQL. However, the data to build models need to come in from somewhere outside of the platform, which then be brought into the SQL, and then either brought into memory, for example, in R, and analyzed, manipulated to build the models. We can talk afterwards.
Great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very much. Okay. That was super technical, so we're going to get a little less technical now. I've got two volunteers here. I have Chantel. Did I say that right? All right.
Hi, I'm Chantel McCallum, founder of Lighthouse Wellness. I empower women who have had abortions and provide a safe haven with them through online coaching and yoga. My contact information is on the wall in the back, and I will be looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay, and then I've got Brian with Legal Shield. Hi, Brian. Good to see you again.
Good evening. Hey, I recently heard of a young lady who bought herself a $30,000 car. Unfortunately, she didn't buy it. Somebody else stole her identity, bought the car, and insurance. With Legal Shield, we can help you restore your identity, even if you're wanted for a crime, even if someone has taken your medical ID, and we'll represent you in court. So for one fee, we restore your identity, we represent you in court, and if you're an employer, you can offer this as a benefit package to your employees at no cost to you. Your employees will love it, and it has a positive impact on your bottom line. If you'd like to learn more about how we can restore your identity and protect you in court, I'll be in the back of the room.
Timely and topical. All right, up next, we've got Prissy Tomboy.
Hi, I'm Prissy Tomboy, and my founder, Tracy Pearson's my name, but I was the founder for Prissy Tomboy. You're probably wondering where the name came from. My parents named me Prissy Tomboy when I was a little girl. I was super girly, but also very athletic and very sporty, and so it just stuck with me all through my athletic career. So our mission and purpose with Prissy Tomboy is to empower women and teen girls to live adventurously and lead healthy, confident lives by connecting our community with resources, activities, and leaders that support their goals. I founded Prissy Tomboy in 2014. I reached over 50,000 girls ages 8 to 17. I hosted over 100 adventures from skateboarding, rock climbing, surfing, you name it. I had over 1,000 ambassadors from rock climbers out of the UK to surfer girls out of Maui. I created the Prissy Tomboy Foundation to reach a larger community so I can work and partner with other nonprofit organizations. Also, I had adventure clubs in the schools. But with that there was a need for more adventures, more experiences, and an overwhelming response from women who also wanted me to bring this experience to them. So I came to a point where I needed to learn how to scale and grow that model. So within that process, I reached out to the lovely Jen White, who is now a co-founder.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jennifer White, and I am another prissy tomboy, or often called a nerd in the skirt, just not wearing it tonight. But my background includes, I started as a sports journalism major, which naturally catapulted me into a technology career, and where I have led 5 different teams that have either gone acquisition or IPO in the Fortune space. And from there, I met up with this prissy tomboy, and we decided we're going to take this show on the road.
And I was from international fashion lines and beauty lines. I worked for different apparel, retail, New York Fashion Week. I've been seen in Vogue, Allure, and Elle. So I'm the creative behind the brand. And now I got the tech genius behind the brand.
Who can't operate?
Other way. There we go. So we are expanding our landscape. Like I was saying, we wanted to hit our next audience of women and girls, because all of women and girls, whether you played sports, had a brother that played sports, watched sports, we all have something to learn from the business of sports.
So to that, we've expanded the audience and strategically looking at where are we in companies today, diversity and inclusion. We're looking to hire the best, but we bring them in the door. What are we doing to keep them in the door? So we're going heavy after that market. And we're also partnering with different professional organizations, networking organizations. If you know me around Atlanta as being the Director of Executive Relations at the Atlanta Technology Board, or now I blew the name, Atlanta Technology Professionals, and where we host our gala next week, and we can get into that afterwards. But the whole purpose is network, give people the skills to get out there and make it usable and purposeful.
This is a multi-generational brand, so we're also working with universities and academia, as well as sports organizations. So our revenue comes from our corporate strategy, our branded retail events and experiences.
And then it all comes back to the business roadmap. How do we build this? And by the way, we built this. We went out and found the best partners that we could possibly find, built the entire SaaS stack using all of your local, your lovely favorite brands that you can see up there. Shopify, on-demand services, our friend over here at Ship Sexy, wrong name, but that's the foundation. He's 100% correct. That's the foundation of how everything is going from an on-demand perspective. If anyone's familiar with Starters on Slack and the subscription model that they have, we're very much in line with working with them. And we've also partnered with several former professional athletes in building content to push that out throughout the Slack model.
We'll also be selling through, of course, all the social media outlets. So we have a very lean business roadmap. Everything's on demand, everything's accessible, and really bring in the best of the best together to execute our business. And then for partners, throughout doing Percy Tomboy with the Foundation for Young Girls, I've built partners all across the country, from your larger brands, from New Balance to I've worked with Nike, Euphoria, Athleta, that all supported, so they're happy to come back and sponsor for the women events as well. We have an event, we're working with women at Google on October 20th, so bringing an experience to be able to teach the evolution of how we network and brave leaders. And October 25th, for all women to come, we have an event at Georgia Tech that's going to be how we elevate and expand a woman's potential by bringing team and collaboration and, of course, that thrill of adventure to that experience. Next slide. Next slide. All right, any questions?
Okay, I know there's got to be a prissy tomboy out there.
I know, come on, there has to be somewhere. There's one of them. Yeah, so I was in, the question was what inspired me to start this Percy Tomboy organization. And I really wanted to inspire brave leaders within our young girls and self-confidence and healthy body image. And having that athletic mindset, being able to work as a team has been able to elevate my career. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had multiple businesses. And for me, I think I learned the best skills through sports and also watching the business of sports. So I've become a better leader. I know how to network with people, how to build those relationships, and you can't build a better relationship than playing a sport with them. So I wanted to bring that to women and girls in a free way, in a very fun way that's not so strict on them, but something that we can really build relationships. And through those challenges that girls face as well as women, those sports, being brave, getting out there and trying something new builds confidence within them that someone can't tell you about. It's just a natural aspect of life. They're just going to be a better person because they push themselves harder. And sometimes that just takes, hey, push yourself to jump off that building and rappel, and you're going to feel like a badass. So that's kind of what I did. Any other questions?
Bring it.
Bring it. She handles those questions. Well, it's funny because it's one of the reasons how we're going to work with young boys as well to bring that empowerment with them. And the reason why I started it is because I have 2 young boys is another reason. I saw my oldest go into middle school, and I'm like, how do you look at women? How do you address women? How do you talk to them? And what gets your attention? I didn't like what was happening in media, because I saw what he was seeing as a young boy. So I brought in this. And so I have young boys and men, leaders in empowerment to say, okay, come work with our girls, come work with, inspire our women to be, to be brave. And so we really work with a lot of male athletes, professional athletes to teach our women leadership, teach them team. So our young boys, our young men can see that, hey, these men are influencing them. And also we're giving them attention and appreciating the men that do empower women. Instead of focusing on the negative side of the guys that don't, we're saying, hey, let us represent the men that do. So the other guys that are being well, we're not going to feed them. We're going to feed the good ones and show them as a representation so other men stand up to them.
And I'll just jump in and add on that. As I mentioned, I've been in tech business for over 20 years. I've been in mostly cybersecurity, so it's all men, mostly, predominantly. I can't tell you the number of teams I've been on where I've been the only woman, and I'm okay with it. I love it. I am that girl. And those are attributes that we're looking to build in other women so they get out there. And it's a solution set. It's not one man versus woman, it's all of us. At the end of the day, if we don't achieve our business goals, we're going nowhere fast. So stand up, get in the game, everybody can win it, and that's the message that we're delivering.
The 501c3, okay, yeah, the business that we're in, the 501c3 now is only for the young girls. So the foundation is for 8 to 17 girls. Women, we provide experiences to corporations to give them team building skills as part of the revenue. We also do events and experiences, an online subscription community, as well as an apparel line that builds in the users and also brings a sense of revenue.
Thank you, and thank you, Allie, for hosting.
We went from technical to emotional there really quick, guys. I loved it. I always enjoy it when people ask really long questions because I can tell it resonates with the audience. So we've got another volunteer going to do something a little bit different tonight. Kim Young, where are you? All right.
Hello. Hey guys, I am promoting an event that happens tomorrow or is happening tomorrow, It's a fundraiser for Hurricane Harvey, Irma relief. It's going to be at Red Light Cafe, which is right across the street from Loca Luna, if you know where that is, off Amsterdam Avenue. So I do this thing with words. I'm going to do something with words right now. So basically, I need a random topic. Someone just toss out a random topic to me. Whatever you guys give me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I heard him. I just ignored him. But anyways, who else? NASCAR. NASCAR. Okay. NASCAR. Yeah, NASCAR. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding. All right. We'll go with NASCAR for the win. If you could cue up the soundtrack. Turn me up. Yo. I got a bunch of rap bots talking about NASCAR. 400, 500 miles I go. I spit a freestyle flow, and you just know I'm kinda like Tony Stewart all the time, cause I'm in that Home Depot, yellow and white. No, it's orange and white. I'm here up on the mic, I'm talking about NASCAR, Daytona 500. See me when I run it, and that's how I do. Yo, I'm recording. My boy Jeff Gordon comes straight through in the Pepsi car. Did a bunch of things up in commercials when he hijacked cars. Yo, I just workflow, spit off the top, words that I drop, and that's what I say when I spit it non-stop. Spit off the top, and that's how I go, and that's what I say with a NASCAR flow. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys, so the information is in the back. I will also have flyers. Y'all should come through. It's going to be a really good time. We got comedians, we got a magician, we got myself, and good times. All right, appreciate y'all.
All right, and our last presenter tonight, Welsen. Got to follow that.
Yeah. Well, hi all. My name is Esteban, and I want to thank you for letting me introduce to you Welsen. And first, I want to ask, how many of you have suffered from any type of anxiety, problems with sleep, stress? Just a quick show of hands. That's a lot of you. In fact, 1 in 4 adults in the U.S. suffer from any or one of these kinds of emotional wellness in 2016. And this is a growing trend. In 2016, the emotional wellness industry was worth $200 billion, and by 2020, it'll be worth $240 billion. There's a Harvard study that talks about how we spend 50% of our time thinking about the past or thinking about the future. And the same Harvard study concluded that this brings unhappiness to our life. That's why we think that mindfulness meditation is a solution to this type of problem, because it teaches us to anchor ourselves in the present moment, yes, where happiness happens, with acceptance, compassion, and in a non-judgmental way. And it has been scientifically proven that mindfulness meditation helps decrease the areas of the brain that deal with stress and anxiety, depression, and increase the areas of the brain that deal with focus, yes, with compassion, love, and kindness. That's why we built Welsen. And Welsen is a mindfulness meditation app with guided meditation that features a 10-minute brand new meditation every day, plus hundreds of meditations, single meditations, visualizations, and coaching sessions. And it features programs that deal with what matters to you. If you want to improve stress, anxiety, focus, if you want to learn to sleep, if you want to deal with depression or even pain management, we have programs, meditation programs that deal with this type of things. So we launched the company back in 2016. We launched an app at the end of the year. We gathered feedback and very quickly built version 2 of the app. And we were greeted with great success. We were actually featured in Marie Claire magazine as one of the top meditations app to try this year. And then the features continued throughout the year. Yes, Cosmopolitan magazine, Mindful magazine, Huffington Post. And this helped us, achieve, over 80,000 downloads and over 1,700 subscriptions to our app. We actually feature a subscription model where you have access to some of the meditations for free, and then you can pay a fee and access to the rest of the guided meditations. What makes us really unique is our team. our head of content, Lena Franklin, some of you may know her. She's actually pretty well known in the Atlanta area. She's been in the Atlanta magazine a bunch of times. And she runs a psychology practice that is mindfulness based. And this is what really makes us unique, because we bring in psychology and meditation. So we're not just like another app where you turn it on and you have guided meditations, but we actually bring both of these things together. Another thing that makes us unique is our at-home approach to mindfulness. Right now we are in a lot of mobile devices, but a lot of people actually start to meditate in the morning and they just do it maybe in the room or in their living room. And so that's why we're trying to move on, and we've actually just launched our first version of our Apple TV app. And we're moving on to, adding Amazon Alexa, Google Home, HomePad, so that, you can just wake up and say, Alexa, play my daily meditation. And then, you don't have to press any buttons. And then our third thing is our approach to corporations and therapist programs. We've had a lot of requests for corporations to bring in mindfulness programs into their organizations. And so we are building dashboards for them so that they can, help their employees and really rate the engagement that these programs have in their corporations. And for therapists, when they talk to their patients, they want to tell them to go and meditate in between sessions. And they want to be able to track whether that was done or not, because it really helps them when they come back and they talk to them. So we have been bootstrapped so far, but we are raising a small amount of money to grow very quickly over the next couple of months. So that's it. That's my presentation. I still have 24 seconds left. So I'll take questions. Yes. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference in between our app and some of the apps that are out there, such as Calm, Headspace, and whatnot? If you all know about meditation apps, those are the two big guys in this industry. So besides featuring a brand new content every day, which makes us some sort of unique, a lot of them just have programs and single meditations that you can access, but we actually feature brand new content every day. Besides that, we bring a mix of psychology and mindfulness together. So when you're hearing our meditations, it's not just breathe in, breathe out, and that's it. But there's actually a lot of thought put into the content that we create from a psychology point of view. So you actually have that additional layer of sophistication, I would say. Anybody else? Yes. Meditation? What we're trying to do, the question is whether we're trying to be the daily burn for meditation. What we're trying to do is really be where you're at. And we've realized our market is about 70% female-oriented. And so we've realized that a lot of the females, they all obviously carry their phone, and we have an app for that. But you just want to wake up and say, Alexa, play my meditation, sit down and meditate. Meditation is just meditation. So we don't want to make it too complicated, but we want to be where you're at. And so that's why we're bringing in this additional devices into the mix. Especially when we talk about Apple TV or Chrome TV or any of these other devices, we're going to start bringing in video content. So besides just the meditations or the guided meditations, we're going to start talking about some issues that are important, that matter to people in video format, from a psychology point of view, obviously. So hope that helps. There was somebody else over there. Whether we're embedding psychology during the meditations is the question? So yes, Lena Franklin just came in to our team. She was the one actually advising us at the beginning of this company. We started back in 2016, and we couldn't really get her in at that point, but now we just brought her in. She's going to be reproducing all of the content that we have. She's going to be bringing all her content in there, and she's a psychologist. So yes, there will be a fusion in between mindfulness meditation and psychology. So when you hear our meditations, you will start to hear a lot of tips from a psychologist. Does it put us where? Right. So the daily meditations, for example, they have a life lesson at the end. This is where psychology comes in. So we're not just going to tell you, whatever life lesson. This is going to come from a psychologist. The tips are going to be cool. Anybody else? Question? Yes. So right now we're just measuring engagement. The question was whether we have a way to measure success for user. So success is something that you see somewhat quick when you start to practice mindfulness meditation. A couple of weeks and you start to see improvement in your daily life. Some of the tools that we're building is a counter for the amount of minutes that you meditate. And we're trying to do it in such a way where it's not like, hey, I meditated 20 minutes, so I must feel better now. We don't want to do that. There's a misconception about the amount of minutes you meditate versus how you feel during the day. So we have to be very careful about how we bring in measurement of those kinds of things. It's more of a personal thing. And we're also going to be bringing into the app a mood tracker. And so I think this is going to allow us to bring in some sort of tracking in a more smooth way. Right? Yes. Yes. I meditate every morning. Yes. I started meditating back in 2010. I got divorced. And it was a time where I was extremely anxious. And I had a lot of self-doubt. And I was kind of falling into a depression. That's when I started meditating without really knowing that I was meditating. And I started to feel really good about what I was doing. I would just turn off the lights at home and just lay down. Eventually, I Googled what I was doing, and it was meditation. That's when I started to do it. So yeah, I meditate every day. I turn the app on, play the daily meditation right on my chest from the bed without really sitting. Sometimes I fall asleep, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't. So I hope that helps.
All right, round of applause for our last presenter. So that is a wrap for tonight. If one of the volunteers said something that you're super interested in, all of their information is at the back, and they will be at the back. If one of the presenters said something that you were interested in, they will be up here at the front. Come by and see them. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Come see us next month as well.